Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Port of Meow. I will be your host for the evening, the master of the electric tambourine, Byron. And with me, as always, is the three-time winner of the Death Corps of Cree Golden Shovel Award, Mike Magas.
It's actually 4 times at this point.
No one wins 4. You get shot by the commissar.
It's not if you outmaneuver the commissar and hit him with the golden shovel.
Well, snap.
Also, our commissar is a little bit old. He was a little easy to overmaneuver. And anyone who's not a Warhammer fan at this point is exceedingly lost.
The commissar's in town. Oh!
But if we're being honest, actually, it's more likely people know Warhammer than our usual wrestling reveres. So we're probably good.
Because they've all gone heel on us.
Yeah, they do. The heel turn is popular in the ESR community. So to give everyone a quick summary of what's going on right now, this is the Portimao track, Club Chicane, the short layout, and this is the Academy Upper Class or 201 class. Only 7 cars on the grid today. Of course, there are only 13 total in the Upper Class Academy. If you would like to join the Upper Class Academy for the final race of the season, please let me know, and we can probably make that happen, actually. We have 2 newcomers to the grid, Mr. Christoph Verstreppen, who is now officially known as Travis's boy, because he has joined Travis's F3 team, and therefore he has replaced Josiah Jerome in the Travis boy spot. And also joining the grid, Andrew D., who is there in the Team Schneid Hornet. Honert Motorsport car, pardon me. He will start from P5 with Verstreppen on the front row with Josiah Jerome, Gustav Ekstrom, Andre Mall, row 2, and at the back,
So
Michael
literally
Magas.
everybody's on the front row.
No, just 2 people.
Everybody.
Just 2 people.
We're going to go 17 wide around the first quarter.
I don't even know if 17 cars would fit wide. There's an experiment for us to do at some point in the near future, that's for sure. And bringing up the rear is Wayne Hutchinson. Bit anticlimactic, but with Ben Davis absent, pretty much 2 solid races here by Josiah Jerome will grant him his 2nd Academy title. You think it's going to happen, Byron?
I think it's about as likely to happen as, I'll give you a 50-50 shot, basically.
Although last time, in fairness that we were at this track, tragedy struck Josiah Jerome and his computer fell apart.
Well, I'm certainly he's used a lot more hot glue this time.
The hinges are less rusty, there's more hot glue on hand, and he's ready to industrial glue that thing back together if need be. Mid-race, let's see if that has to happen. They are off! Wayne Hutchinson moving out to the outside line of the first corner there. Gustav Ekstrom is in the mix there. Not a very good start by Andrew D. He's dropped back to the back after a reasonably solid qualifying. Oh, and he's going down the inside hard.
Gonna give him the D.
That's a torpedo. Mike Magas is off in the background as well, so Andrew D. and Mike Magas have been struck down. The other 5 cars are through. Wayne Hutchinson actually looks like he's had to take evasive action as well and has dropped back. So we have the top 4 streaking away here. Josiah Jerome from Verstreppen, Mall, Ekstrom, and then the 3 Canadians bringing up the rear, Hutchinson, Magas, and D.
You guys are like Quebec, you're just tearing everything apart back there.
I don't think any of us are in Quebec, at least. That's an improvement. Actually, to be honest, I think is Darcy our only Quebecois? No, Jean Simone, I would assume. Probably.
Well, he lives in Ontario.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He lives in Hamilton. Yeah, so
The desolate wasteland of crime and lawlessness.
Might actually just be Darcy that is our lone Quebecois representative.
And he speaks the best English.
He does. His English is quite solid. It has a relatively melodious voice. We should get him on commentary sometime.
I disagree. He is insert big word here. I can't come up with a ridiculously big word that doesn't mean anything relevant at this point.
But I mean, we could get him on commentary and they'd be highly xenophobic.
Oh, wait, we totally could. What are you doing over here, you weird German bastard?
Josiah Jerome is out in front. He needs 2 solid results here to take the title with Ben Davis absent. Curse you, Ben! Not even making a fight for it in the second to last round, but unfortunately Ben was not here. He did sign out. I don't know what the reasoning was, but he is not here today.
Get drunk.
Also should be mentioned, also absent from this race was Wing Chung, who will be debooked from the Academy for frankly, not showing up for any of the races.
He did not wing Chung tonight?
He did not. Or maybe he did too hard. I don't know.
Too much chunging on the wing.
Indeed. This track is a pretty demanding one. It's actually one that I subjected Byron to have to drive a car around, so, you know, he can...
This track is the worst.
It's really not. But it is very challenging. A lot of altitude or elevation changes. Kind of the chicane track is a little bit less varied on turns. It's a lot of relatively fast curves, which are really, really nice when you get them right, but actually surprisingly easy to fuck up.
I agree.
And this is, of course, the only time this season, well, going forward, this is actually the case, but this is the first time this season that the 201 class is taken to the track before the 101 class, because, of course, the 101 class was supposed to race here. Race Room had a problem with its server. They seemed to have it fixed, but not everyone was able to access the server, so we delayed their race for 2 weeks, and it will be taking place this Saturday. We're doing the commentary on Thursday to give you a time limit idea, so, you know, within 48 hours, we'll have that race going.
I agree.
I assumed you would.
Indeed I do, and have.
Excellent. Leading the way, it is still Josiah Jerome. He's got Verstappen for, you know, close company. Ekstrom back in third, Moll in fourth, Magas fifth, D sixth. Wayne Hutchinson slipped to the back. I wonder if he's had an off of some type there, but he was up in fifth. He's now back to seventh. The cars are close enough together, but there's not really anything tremendously happening right now to completely abuse Tony Schiavone's words. By the way, you heard Tony Schiavone got an offer from WWE to come work for them?
Yeah, because he is actually going to be doing work for AEW, so therefore they don't want him to work anywhere near the competition.
Yeah,
I don't know why Tony Schiavone is literally the worst commentator I've ever heard.
And to be honest, the way they did him dirty when they bought WCW, like I have no idea why he would even consider.
I don't know, like how much money are they throwing at him? Like a couple million a year?
I mean, yeah, you probably have answered my question right there. When you put the millions in front of someone, they conveniently forget what an asshole you've been to them in the past.
Yup. Either that or sign for as much guaranteed money as you can and get in there and just phone it in.
Oh, I mean, I don't think we'd be able to tell the difference. That's
correct.
Like you, I am not a Schiavone.
I am not a Schiavone fan at all. He's a fucking asshole. He's submarined the brain, and it takes a Don West to show you just how bad he is, because Don West is the absolute dribbling shits, and he's no better. Don
West should have just stuck in the sales department of Impact Wrestling. I have no idea why anyone thought him on the mic in a commentary role was a particularly great idea.
Didn't he do work at WCW, or am I wrong about that?
I don't recall him, but it is quite possible that he did.
I'll look it up.
Christoph Verstappen giving a little bit of the headlight flash to Josiah Jerome, and that's it's not something I could see going very far, to be honest.
No.
Generally speaking,
he worked just TNA.
Well, there we go.
I don't know why I thought he was on WCW.
I think you're thinking of Mike Tenay.
Yeah, that's probably it. He's also the worst.
A mix. Like, Mike Tenay is a guy who actually the three-man booth works for, because you just let him pipe in with a little bit of technical breakdown, and we're all good to go.
Yeah.
So he's one of the few guys that if I was saddled with like producing a wrestling show and I had to have Mike Tenay as my commentator, I'd actually opt for a three-man booth at that point.
Yes.
And it looks like Verstappen's got the speed to possibly take Josiah Jerome here, but at this time, nothing is happening for Verstappen. He is, of course, a Belgian driver, so one would have to think that, being from the lowlands, that what do you think he's going to fall in the Klapzool to stop mill category?
Maybe if you give him enough nitrous oxide.
Oh. Are you saying that's Mike Stockmill's key to success, or that's why he who should not be named has such anger issue?
I think it's probably that Mike Stockmill actually drinks nitrous oxide. So
So the key is whether you drink it or inhale it. I gotcha. And Christoph Verstappen looking to show his stuff. He did quite well in the F3 race that we, I believe we did commentary for that. Did we not do commentary for that? I want to say that we did.
Maybe. To be honest with you, I don't remember most races. I just show up and I say things, and there you are.
What you don't understand is that Byron is indeed the Peter Dinklage / Tyrion Lannister of the ESR community. He
Correct.
drinks and he says things.
That is correct. To be honest with you, I have never raced on any of these tracks because I don't race in any of the games, and all of this looks like just more corners to me. I don't have a clue from one track to the other, but I'm able to make things up and be amusing, and that's why they keep asking me to do this.
Yeah, you're the color guy. That's what you do.
Yeah.
You are the Jerry the King Lawler to my Jim Ross.
Only I'm not retarded.
Yeah, well, I'm also not really Jim Ross. So. I don't use the word slobber for any. Oh, Verstappen with a nice little slingshot on the inside takes the lead. Josiah Jerome does have the inside line here, though, so this is going to probably go back the way of the Is it Dominican? Is that how you would say someone from Demencia?
He's not from the Dominican Republic.
I know, but like, what do you call someone from Dominica?
He's a Dominicite.
Dominicite?
I have no idea.
We will go with that until we are corrected. So the Dominicite driver holding the lead over the Belgian for the time being. Gustav Ekstrom is pretty comfortable there in third place. Andre Mall back and forth, and then it is Magas, D, Hutchison, pretty well spaced apart at this point. 10 seconds, 4 seconds, 7 second gaps. So not really a ton going on beside this battle for the lead here, which Verstappen would love to get. Getting a debut Academy win would be a pretty solid feat. I don't think anyone's done that since actually at Delphi Cali at the first ever Academy race where everyone was debuting.
It's like Lucha Underground. Everybody loses their debut.
Well, in fairness, I have to say that while it was everyone's debut in Academy, it was actually Adele's ESR debut. So that was a pretty proper debut win. Bucking the Lucha Underground trend. And Verstappen continues to put the pressure on. Oh, have you seen the breakdown of the Star League and the Ameris Civil War there by our boys in the Black Pants Legion?
This is about the Ram Pants Legion?
Black Pants Legion. They did a video. I think you'll find one of their history videos. I think you'll enjoy it. I'll link you up to it.
All right. Well, I haven't. It's on my subscription list. I just ain't got there yet.
Okay.
Stop yelling at me.
It was a couple of days ago. It's a worthwhile question.
I've probably seen it then.
Here we are coming up to one of the more difficult turns to not cut the track at. This relatively high-speed final corner. You can see Verstappen there. He invalidated his lap by sliding off there. It's really easy to do that. It's incredibly easy to carry just a little too much speed, end up with an illegal lap, and that can be a challenge. This first pair of turns here is, in my opinion, the most difficult part, though. Heavy braking, but you don't want to brake too much. You want to carry a good amount of speed through those two corners there, and that's pretty challenging. And it's also a bit interesting because, of course, a lot of people race the Portimao GP layout, not the Club Chicane layout, and I have seen people make mistakes where they run into temporary barriers because they're expecting a straightaway to continue on for a bit, and it's not going to.
It should be like Mario Kart and random temporary barriers just show up random parts of the track.
That does actually happen if you go off track enough on some places. You'll find barriers. Stowe was a great example of that. If you cut across the infield, you would slam into an invisible wall.
I do like invisible walls. They are the best part of any video game.
I mean, the best part of any video game could be when you clip into the wall and you become stuck there, and it's pretty amusing.
Or if you hit somebody so hard in the game that they become stuck in the wall.
Oh, that's even better.
Ragdoll physics OP.
Oh, yeah. Verstappen being held off for now. I mean, we got 2 more laps. This is for a short layout, actually a pretty long lap. You can see the best lap there for Verstappen is a 153.7, and that is not a particularly bad lap, it should be mentioned. The other cars are in pretty similar boats as far as the pace is concerned. Just seeing down if anything's developing through the field. Nah, it's really still just these two being a little bit over a half second apart. They are the 2 closest cars on the track and battling for the lead. Walking Horse Motorsports versus BMW Motorsports. And Verstappen still chasing that debut win to get it. Can he do it? As they head through the remainder here of the first sector onto the... I don't know the name. There is a corner here on a Portuguese track called the Craig Jones Corner. That just seems weird. Then again, there are some weird names in Portugal that come out. Like, for example...
Mike Jones Corner.
For example, the UFC has a fighter named Johnny Walker, and he's from Brazil. It's very confusing.
He's not a Texas Ranger?
No, he's not. He does do the worm, though.
Interesting.
That is his post-fight celebration, and he did injure himself doing the worm, so that was interesting.
I remember that. Guy's fucking shoulder came apart.
Yep. After he knocked out Misha Serkinov. Oh!
Yeah.
Verstappen losing the back end a little bit there. And that, I think, will unfortunately end his challenge for the lead, because he's given a slightly under 3-second lead to Josiah Jerome. With a lap and a bit to go, I think Josiah can probably hang on to that. He's shown an amazing ability to conquer all despite his 15 frames per second. Josiah Jerome, the frame-for-frame champion.
Still sure about that?
I'm pretty sure about that. I think the fact that I don't think anyone else runs at less than, say, 60 to probably about 50 frames, I think maybe is the next lowest guy. And you got Josiah out there putting up like 4th places on like really quality grids. Taking the occasional podium. I mean, for 15 frames a second, that's got to be the champ right there.
1 frame per game.
Per game. Gustav Ekstrom has really stepped up lately here in the championship run. He's the car driving 3rd place. This would be his 2nd consecutive podium. Took the podium at the end of race room there last time out. Had a good run there. And is having another good run here. So,
I disagree. It's the worst run ever.
Bit of a late season challenge from him. Nothing else really happening here. Now that Verstappen is kind of lost. Mind you, Verstappen is really reeling in Josiah Jerome. He's taken almost a half second out of them there at one point. But it's just not going to be enough. We're here on the final lap. He's still the better part of 3 seconds behind the leader. And there is the leader, and of course that... I honestly have not made up my mind if I think that car is hideous, but it is definitely eye-catching.
I agree. It seems as though your boy Friesen should be driving it.
I was talking about Josiah's car, not Christoph's. But yes, well, this is definitely the Eric Friesen BMW.
Correct. All right, went off the track, disqualified.
And it is going to be Josiah Jerome who takes home the victory and takes a major step towards winning the title. 2nd place there to Christoph Verstappen in his debut. Gustav Ekstrom with a 2nd consecutive podium. Andre Mol with a solid 4th place. And to be honest, I think that just describes Andre Mol's season. It's just been incredibly solid. Dude, doing real well. Michael Magas bringing it home in 5th place in what can only be described as a disappointing season so far. Andrew D., another debutant, taking 6th position there in the very fetching Sheed Honert Motorsports car. And Wayne Hutchinson bringing up
the... Did you say that 3 times?
I'm not going to. Wayne Hutchinson in the Mathall racing car, bringing up the rear in 7th place. Bit of a lackluster outing for Wayne Hutchinson, but we know he's capable of doing some other things. And he will have pole for race 2. So let's see if he can turn in a solid run there and take a much-needed solid result. Although, mind you, a lot of points here for all these guys, having only 7 cars in the field today. We get ready for race number 2 here. The grid will form up. It will be Hutchison and D on the front row, and Josiah Jerome will be coming from the back to try to pull off the repeat win.
Do you think that he could possibly just sandbag everybody and then win anyway, just for fun?
Probably not. Probably not. Verstappen looked like he actually probably had a pace advantage over him.
Do you think he could possibly just give him a hip check into a corner and then suplex everybody?
It's possible. Andre Mull there starting from the outside of row 2. He is our focal point right behind Andrew D, and they are off. Josiah Jerome looking aggressive. Andre Mull looking kind of aggressive. Comes all the way over really hard there. And it is going to be Wayne Hutchison who leads the way from Michael Magas. Andrew D got off to another relatively bad start there and is now jousting with Christoph Verstappen for 3rd place. And it looks like the Belgian's got the Canadian, and indeed he does. Maple syrup versus the Belgian waffles.
Well, I mean, syrup's going to win every time. You're just going to get all soggy and gross, and you get thrown right in the garbage.
Ekstrom is now taking a run at Andrew D. So Andrew D struggling here in the early going. We'll see if he can start to rebound a little bit. Michael Magas getting very late on the brakes, and that's going to let Verstappen come up the inside, looking to make a pass, looking to make an overtake happen. But he's going to be left out to dry, I think, on the outside of this turn here, and Magas indeed will successfully retain 2nd place for the time being. Wayne Hutchinson is your leader. Ekstrom 4th. Jerome's up to 5th. D is 6th. And Andre Mull is the man who's been kind of caught behind everybody. He's down in 7th place after starting from P4. Although the start to forget is definitely that of Andrew D, who's gone from 2nd place to dead last here, I think, relatively shortly, as Andre Mull is on the attack in the background. We'll see if Mike Magas can manage to pull off the Magas train and keep these cars behind him, and Wayne Hutchinson can maybe escape into the distance and give Canada a solid result here, as the Canadians did not show tremendously well in race 1, taking 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Or you could give Wayne the old pit maneuver and spin him into every other car, and then you win.
I would not do that to Wayne. I would do that to other people. I would do that to he who shall not be named. Comes to mind. 3 wide!
Yikes.
Oh, Wayne got squeezed out there, and it briefly looked like Magas might take the lead, but right now it is Christoph Verstappen who has got the lead. Gustav Ekstrom up into 3rd place. Josiah Jerome also got through there into 4th, so Hutchinson's gone from 1st to 5th in about 3 corners. That is the harsh mistress that is Portimao.
Wow.
And in fact, it looks like Hutchinson's under attack there from Andre Mull in the background there. So Mull looking to get into the top 5, and in fact, it looks like he has. Although Hutchinson does coming down the inside there, and it does look like he has retained 5th position for the time being. I saw Mull off the track a little bit, but does retain 6th ahead of Andrew D. Josiah Jerome looking to get past Gustav Ekstrom. Ekstrom looking for a 3rd consecutive podium. Christoph Verstappen's looking for his 1st win, and he is starting to pull the vanishing act. He's up to 1 point, just a little bit over a 2nd ahead of Michael Magas, but we are also less than a lap from where he took the lead. So a little bit of a disappearing act going from the Belgian, who we theorize might be the fastest car on the track.
That is very possible. Also, I would like to question why you're driving literally the ugliest car in existence.
I don't find it ugly. I guess
yellow and gray. Did you eat something bad and then paint the car with your vomit?
Well, that would imply I took an entirely gray car. That's a little bit lame.
No, I'm just implying that you eat weird stuff and then throw up.
Fair enough. It has been known to happen. Josiah Jerome and Gustav Ekstrom are sandwiching Michael Magas. Little shoving back, but he is going to lose that 2nd place. It's going to be Jerome who takes them both. Ekstrom, no, it's not. Jerome gets off the corner poorly. Ekstrom trying to get through. Did he get through? Take the camera forward, please. Thank you. Ekstrom has gotten through into 2nd position ahead of Josiah Jerome, and a little bit of contact there between Michael Magas and Josiah Jerome with Andre Mull trying to charge through there, and indeed, Maul is successfully up into 4th. So Magas was a good run up in 2nd place, but back down to 5th, where he finished race 1.
You had a solid 15 seconds there.
Wayne Hutchinson appears to have possibly gone off the track at some point. He's now behind Andrew D, back in 7th position. So another bit of a disappointing run here so far for the Math Hall Racing crew and Wayne Hutchinson.
You can all thank Mike Magas because he submarined all the Canadians.
I did nothing to the Canadians. Would never do such a thing to my fellow countrymen. Now, certain Americans like, or Australians like, Lachlan Nichols.
He's
Sorry.
a fine, upstanding young man. I don't know what
Fine, upstanding man from 1-800-GOT-BUMPER Racing. That is.
Correct.
We'll leave it at that. That is the problem with Lachlan Nichols.
with the bumpty bump.
And a shout out to Mr. Mankotron. I need you to possibly name your team for the 3D Speed series. So there you go.
They will be the Manco Sharks.
I like that name. Consider that, Mr. Mankotron. Consider it. It'll be right up there with Thundernuts as a team name. Josiah Jerome looking to get up into 2nd place. I do believe that if he finishes in this 3rd place, the championship is his in the absence of Ben Davis. So
It shall be mine.
it does beg the question that has he done the math? Does he know what he needs to win the title? Is he aware that it's his right now? Is he going to just stick in 3rd, or is he going to try to press the issue with Mr. Ekstrom? Because Gustav he's got a little bit of a feist in him. And not necessarily a guy I'd want to be trying to make an overtake on if I didn't need to. And this track doesn't offer a tremendous amount of safe overtaking ground.
I demand more bushes for tank destroyers.
There are no bushes, so that would be ideal. Mind you, there's if you go on the helicopter cam and you bring it out like wide ass shot, there's a whole wine vineyard off to the one side. So
Oh, very nice.
That could be where the tank destroyers are. They made a big deal about it when A1GP came here back in the day. That was the first time I saw a race here. Was the A1GP? A1GP was an interesting concept. It was Formula One, sort of, but the teams were nations. So it was like Team Canada, Team Ireland, and stuff. It's pretty interesting.
What about Team Tajikistan?
I do not believe Tajikistan ever had a team in it, unfortunately.
That is racist.
That being said, there were some weird countries that popped up in it. Like, there was Team Indonesia in there, and I'm like, Indonesia in a racing series? A bit weird. But there it was. There was a Team Pakistan had a very interesting car.
I believe it. Was it actually a camel with side panels on it?
It was not a camel. There was Team India, of course. It was pretty interesting. I had a fairly solid chunk of representative drivers, like Canada, for example, had Patrick Carpentier out there. It's pretty solid.
That sounds good.
And of course, the surprising team that did really, really well almost every season was Team New Zealand, despite not really having particularly what you would call the most high profile of drivers.
I'm sure they just imported Eric Bana.
No, I can't say that any of the drivers were Eric Bana or even looked remotely as handsome as
He
Eric Bana.
is a professional actor and can totally pull off any role, including a weird driver.
This is true. I've never seen a movie and thought Eric Bana was the problem.
That is correct. Occasionally I'll see movies where they've like, all right, Eric, this is what we're gonna do. This is what the movie's gonna be. Here's your lines. This is was the direction we're going. All right, cool. And then they made a different movie and didn't tell him. I've seen a few of those.
He was probably the best performance in Black Hawk Down, I must say, and that's saying something because that was a pretty damn fucking solid cast.
I would agree. It has the guy who would later be in The Rundown, the Scottish guy.
I don't even know who you're going for at this point.
What? Have you never seen The Rundown?
I have not.
You are a hooker beast.
True. These are true facts. Christoph Verstappen disappearing off in the distance. Josiah Jerome currently battling with Gustav Ekstrom over second place. Andre Mull, Mike Magas, Andrew D, Wayne Hutchins. Man, this is a really, really similar lineup to last time, with basically just Josiah down from first place to third. So, race 2 turning out a lot like race 1.
Put him in the wall.
Ugh, excuse me, a little bit of hiccups there.
You know, to excuse my co-host, he is literally dying.
No, I just ate the spicy chicken burger from Nation's Fresh Foods, and it does tend to give me hiccups. But it is delicious.
I'm going to get me a spicy chicken burger tomorrow. I'm going to leave work and go to Wendy's.
This is better than the Wendy's one.
That's not possible.
No. Here's the thing. Picture the Wendy's spicy chicken burger for a second.
Uh-huh.
Now double the frickin' meat portion.
Oh, okay.
That's the Nation's one.
Well, I mean, that's just quantity over quality.
Yeah, but that's a lot of quantity.
I could literally go to Wendy's and say, "Can I have a spicy chicken burger?" and it would just put 2 chickens on it.
Yeah, but it's cheaper too.
Oh, well,
it's $4.
That is a persuasive argument.
And it was on sale today because it's the Thursday meal of the day.
Ooh.
You get 50 cents off. It's really not as impressive as it sounds.
Could be worse and or better.
Josiah Jerome still looking to get past Gustav Ekstrom. I think we're probably going to be riding with this one to the line. We've got about 4 minutes to go, which is enough time for 3 more laps of Portimao's Club Chicane layout. The season finale, by the way, will be from Sepang Grand Prix. So unfortunately, it looks like the championship will be decided before then for the upper class. But for the underclass, things are still heated up. Nathan Edward is having a great battle with of course, Adele Foucali over the title. Foucali looking to become that rare champion who takes a driver's title without winning a race. That would be pretty impressive.
That is interesting. So it's like the Panzer Leader approach?
It is.
Yeah, it was Panzer Leader.
I'd say, if anything, that's not the Panzer Leader approach. Panzer Leader approach is like, hey guys, I got like 3 wins and finished like 17th overall.
No, Panzer Leader would like get 4 or 5 kills and get less than 400 or 500 damage.
Yeah, but like the racing equivalent to that is like, guys, I got like 3 wins, but managed to turn in like nothing else.
A likely story.
Like, that's the closest thing I can get to a racing equivalent of Panzer Leader.
Fair enough.
Josiah Jerome still looking to get a way around, but he's not fast enough delta-wise compared to Ekstrom in the overtaking areas is the problem. He's making up ground in a lot of areas that there's really no overtaking to be had, and that's his major advantage. So that makes cutting your way through the grid a little bit difficult when you're not necessarily putting that delta into the right place. But here we go into turn 1. This will be probably his best opportunity of the race to get the job done, and can he do it? The answer appears to be a hard no. A little bit of a defensive line there from Ekstrom, and he'll easily retain the position for the time being.
You're saying that overtaking is a major undertaking?
Yes. Wrap your head around that, everybody. Listen to the words of the Professor Byron.
Indeed.
He is a scholar and a philosopher of our lifetime. To go over it, currently in the Undercup, or on their underclass, it is Nathan Edward leading the championship with 474 points. Second place, Adele Foucali, 472. It's only a 2-point gap in that battle, so that I hope will go down to the wire.
470. How many races you guys running? Like 3,000?
No, it's just you can get up to 100 points for a race.
This is madness.
This is Sparta.
I think you should get 1 point per race.
Oh, that would be interesting.
3 points for a win, 2 points for second, 1 point for third, and everybody else can twist in the win.
Top 3-point system. Interesting.
No podium, no points.
Just quickly having a look to see if anyone else is mathematically alive. Well, I mean, there are a number of people who are mathematically alive. Johnny Major, Danny Ball, James Butler, Jordan Alcolia, Javi P! And that is it. Those are the 7 people who can still bring home the underclass trophy. We're heading on to the final lap here. Josiah Jerome all over the back end of Gustav Ekstrom, but he's not really found a spot where he can really shoot one up the inside, where he can really make Ekstrom defend, maybe force a mistake out of him, bring it on home. Looks like in the background, possibly Mike Magas has gone off the track as he is losing ground to Andre Mall in a rather serious fashion. I actually legitimately don't remember if I went off there. It just looked like the gap made it look like I might have. And here we go, Josiah Jerome looking for an overtake. Nothing happening yet. I think we can safely say that Christoph Verstappen is going to take home his first victory in ESR. So congratulations, Mr. Verstappen. Your name is almost Verstappen, and that will feel many, both compliments and insults, because I find both the Verstappens in racing to be complete assholes.
That is racist and probably accurate.
It's very accurate. I don't think anyone has a nice thing to say about Jos Verstappen, in all seriousness, like as a person. Like, people have nice things to say about him as a driver, but as a person, it's like every story I hear is like, he may or may not have beaten his wife. He may or may not have sworn at some kid at a karting event. He may or may not be a worthless drunk. And it is into the final corner. Josiah is trying to make the move happen, but Ekstrom's got him held off for now. Verstappen is your winner. Josiah Jerome, you are the champion, but you're going to have to settle for 3rd place behind Gustav Ekstrom on this day. Andre Mall coming home in 4th position ahead of Michael Magas. The top Canadian honors to Michael Magas in 5th place. The man on his debut, Andrew D. Pretty respectable 2 6th places for Andrew D. here in his debut. And he was worried that he would be out of place on the upper class academy grid. He thought he would be a lower class kind of guy. And I disagree. Wayne Hutchinson bringing up the back with a 7th place outing on this particular day. And that was the racing, Byron. What did you think?
I think that they went forward at an alarming rate, and there should definitely be safety standards in place here to make sure no one gets hurt.
Would you like to congratulate Josiah Jerome on his championship in a way that only you can?
Congratulations, sir. You have claimed victory using only 1 chopstick, half an eyelash, and static electricity.
I doubt the static electricity was even involved. I feel like his computer might actually just be a Tesla coil.
Nah, it's too much power.
Are you saying that you see a world of infinite energy?
Maybe. I'm gonna strangle my cat.
Don't admit to that on commentary.